This is not looking good, guys. This is not looking good. So in this picture, they sent the AI robot to confront a lion. One glance is all it took, and the machine froze and said multiple times, scared, scared, scared. That's what this robot was saying when it confronted the lion. As a matter of fact, I heard that the robot said it 100 times. It was scared of a lion. How is that possible? People are saying in that moment the first world's PTSD machine was born. So you mean to tell me robots are scared now?
What's good, Dark Mafia? We back with another video, man. Hey, today we got some creepy videos, man. We back at it with the creepy videos. Hey, I'm noticing y'all liking them HOLLYWEIRD videos and them celebrity videos. I'll keep them coming if you guys want me to keep them coming. But I don't want to just stick to one thing. So just let me know in the comments if you guys are liking these videos too, and you want me to keep them coming, or if you want me to switch to more celebrity-based, HOLLYWEIRD stuff. Anyway, I'm gonna get right into it today, guys. Link in the description for the merch. Check it out, man. Your boy worked hard on it. Like, comment, and subscribe, all that good stuff. And we're just gonna get right into it today. Let's go.
But what I hear the boomers cry is a Labubu. Well, this goes back to 2015. The old days, the before times, when the craziest shit going on was whether or not Chappie was a good movie. It wasn't, or maybe it was. Either way, Kansing Lung, a Chinese artist from Hong Kong, then living in Antwerp, created a storybook series influenced by the Nordic legends he learned growing up in the Netherlands. And if that's not enough of a cultural journey, but wait, there's more. The lore is all about these furry elves with 9 sharp teeth in a tribe, or a mischief, if you want to be a dick about it, called the Monsters. Mokoko, Pato, Spooky, their leader Zamomo, Labubu, and her boyfriend Taikoko, who is a skeleton. Don't make that face. You survived every season of The White Lotus, you can follow this. I'm a talking fucking bird. This is not the weirdest shit you heard about today. So anyway, there's like 100 different monsters in the series, but the character you care about is Labubu. Stick with that. Anyway, so he creates this series. It's adorable. They are mischievous elves, and they're in love, and he partners with the toy company How to Work and starts selling the figures from the story. Then, in 2019, the Monsters partnered up with a Chinese toy company, Pop Mart, known for their blind boxes. And I can hear those of you still clinging to your AOL.com email be crying, what the shit is going on? Relax your blood pressure. Because blind boxes are nothing new, they're just popular. Basically, it is what it is. It's a box containing a cool thing. But you don't know which of the cool things in the series will be inside the box. You're buying it blind and hoping for the coolest of cool things, but it might just be a cool thing. Either way, you're spending money for the thrill of a cool thing. You boomers had metal detectors. It's the same deal, except with blind boxes, you don't have to worry about finding a syringe or like a buried utility line. Or maybe you do. I don't know. I don't have any money. So then, Lisa, who's the member of the K-pop group Blackpink, who needs no introduction, except to those of you who still call it the Facebook, just know she has 9 Guinness World Records just for being popular. Ask your kids. In April of 2024, Lisa is spotted with a keychain Labubu. And since she is the most followed member of a K-pop group on Instagram, that's one of the Guinness Awards, by the way, she was also on the latest season of The White Lotus, in case you need a cultural touchstone because you checked out 5 minutes ago. Labubu's become the rage. And that's why your kids are bothering you about getting the right kind of Labubu and not a fake one. Those are called Lafufus. And before you get excited, no, they're not worth anything. Just because they named it something doesn't mean it's worth anything. But you know what is worth something? Labubus!
Nature is wild. This bug is dead. It is hollowed out and controlled by a parasitic fungus. It is a real-life zombie. But it's moving. It's worse than you think. This fungus is called Mesospora. They infect the cicada bug, rot inside of its abdomen, replacing it with fungus spores. It then floods its body with psychoactive amphetamine-like compounds. So despite losing its body parts, it walks, flies, and even mates. In fact, these chemicals make it go full-on nymphomaniac mode. Hyperactive and sexually aggressive, so it spreads the infection faster. Even creepier, infected males mimic female behavior, tricking healthy males into mating with them and thus spreading infection. This is literal fungus-powered neural control and sexual deception. The fungus is not harmful to humans, but it is absolutely insane to watch.
These are entities that are here on this earth, that have been on this earth, that, who knows how long, and that we, you know, we think they're coming in from way out. Maybe they did millennia ago, but they're here, and they're in these deep water areas. And that's why, I mean, like we say, we know more about the face of the moon than we do what's going on there. Now, we have a higher propensity of sightings around these 5 or 6, I believe, deep water areas. And so to me, it just it creates a question there. And then when we have naval personnel telling me that we have these sightings and that there's these underwater craft they're chasing that are doing hundreds of miles an hour, and the best we've got is something that does maybe just a little under 40 miles an hour. So I got a lot of questions about that stuff, and I mean,
we do too.
Well, you mentioned that there's underwater UFOs.
Oh yeah, lots. They've been tracked for decades.
I mean, that makes a lot of sense because we've really explored the oceans barely at all.
Yes, yeah.
Like, what, probably 95% of the ocean has been completely unexplored.
And 2/3 of the Earth is covered.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, are there actual alien bases at the bottom of the ocean and so forth?
There are both human and non-human assets that have been in the ocean.
Really?
Yeah.
Like Atlantis, kind of?
Well, I do know that out in that area there's some strange phenomenon, and
What area do you mean?
like what used to be called the Bermuda Triangle.
Bermuda Triangle.
Like that.
Okay, I heard about this in the 80s, where
Yeah,
planes would just disappear and so forth.
And
You're saying that's a real thing?
Yes, but that was a underwater covert human array, electromagnetic array.
Okay.
There's a similar one down at the South Pole. We had a new whistleblower with Raytheon describe a mile under the ice these neutrino light emitters and detectors that are down there at the South Pole, not Antarctica, South Pole. And you can look at his testimony, Eric Hecker, who was down there for a year at that base. And so there's a lot of unusual things that are placed under the ocean. Then there have been extraterrestrial vehicles, and I understand even bases that could be deep, because they can go through any medium. You know, some people call it trans-medium. In other words, you can go through water, solid rock, et cetera, and so on. So the technology allows for passing straight through solid matter.
Well, yeah, because you said teleportation is a real thing.
Yes.
And this is what you're talking about.
No, that's separate. A teleportation is based on quantum entanglement, but basically what Einstein called the spooky effect, where you could have the same particle 2 places simultaneously. So a teleportation would be it's here, and it's through a quantum entanglement resonance. Whereas something that would look 3D, even the sun shining on it, could pass straight through into a mountain, because the resonant frequency of the matter and the electronics of that craft cause it to mostly be unaligned with the matrix, let's call it, of matter in this dimension. So, and it gets a little esoteric, but if you can visualize my body, 6'4" and weigh 220. If you were to take out all the space between the atoms and molecules, all the mass of my body would fit on the tip of a needle of a pen.
Yeah.
All right. So, but it's this size. So what if you took this a little bit out of angular momentum frequency? Then this body could walk right through that wall, and my atoms would not touch those atoms.
Because you're going between the atoms?
Yes, because you're passing in the space between.
Okay.
All right. I mean, it gets into some esoteric physics.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, babe, wait.
Hey, we all matter, man, and we all are energy. So teleportation if you think of it on a quantum level, like he was saying, it kind of like, it isn't teleportation, it's matter going to another space of matter. That's what I got from it. You know, I'm no scientist, but you know, yeah.
Wake up, new moon just dropped. Apparently, it's been orbiting us for like 60 years, and we just noticed it. What a creepy little guy just staring in Earth's bedroom windows as we slept. But yeah, that's the thing. 2025. Why not just have a new moon? You know, it's can't be any weirder than the rest of it.
That's wild.
NASA
Hey,
found
didn't we get news that we're gonna have some kind of like second moon and it's gonna orbit us for a little bit and then it's gonna drift away? Now they saying it's been there for 40 years. Come on, we not dumb, y'all.
new asteroid that just entered our solar system, just like 3i Atlas, but this new asteroid is 100 times bigger and 100 times brighter than 3i Atlas. Name of the new asteroid is C2025 R2 Swan. But the reason why I brought out the tinfoil hat was this. The C2025 R2 Swan, that is 100 times larger than the 3i Atlas. It's going to come closer to Earth, then a lot closer than 3i Atlas. But get this, they both are going to be going past Mars. No one's talking about this new asteroid. This new asteroid was just discovered September 11th of this month, 2025, but there has been so much breaking news that nobody is talking about this new asteroid. We might be in some trouble with this one.
So y'all, I want to bring across your attention a video that was sent to me today, and I want y'all to look at this with me because what am I seeing over here? Now, I did some research, and this appears to be a botanical garden in India. Now, are my eyes deceiving me or what I see is real? Because this is a garden, but what I'm seeing is a lot of death. Because even the trees, right? I see birds flying around everywhere, and this is pretty disturbing. Now, I did some research, and this is a form of Zoroastrian, where basically they let nature do its thing. The vultures are flying around, and they're having a pick at these things. But I'm also seeing a lot of symbolism, y'all. Sacred geometry. Let's look at it. So it looks like these cadavers are in what's called an eye, right? These circles, they look like an eye. And what do they say about the eyes? The eyes are the windows to the soul. And then it has like these little slides where I guess the blood would be coming down after they've collected. So where is this going to? You see, here's a little slide where the blood would be coming out of, but it looks more to me like a ritual site. Are my eyes deceiving me, y'all? I'm beginning to see that this planet is obsessed with death, and what do they do with the dead bodies afterward? Because there are some rumors that are going around that people may be eating these things, and I'm seeing again like sacred geometry, y'all. This guy is also saying something. I don't know what he's saying, so I'm gonna let him play a little bit, and then you guys can translate what he's saying.
Кішкентай балдарды біреуіне ер адамдар, біреуіне әйел адамдарды жерлейді. Жерлегенде осылай үстіне қойып қояды. Оларды күнге күйіп, жермен қақталып, сүйек болғаннан кейін ортасына лақтырып тастайды. Үндістан мемлекетінде зарастризмді ұстанатындар әлі де көп. Жалпы зарастризмді Қазақстанның жерінде де болған. Ол туралы мәлімет.
I don't care what you say, man. That is some type of ritual. And then the fact of the matter is, it killed of all of nature all around it. Look at all these trees, y'all. These things are barely trees anymore. They look like roots. But yes, y'all, let me know down in the comments below. The shift is here. Y'all see it. Let's continue to get it. Peace in.
It's moving at a velocity of about 135,000 miles per hour, so it's going really fast. For that distance from the sun, this is really exceptional.
It's happening. This October, two objects from deep space will fly side by side, disappearing behind the sun where no telescope on Earth can see them. One is a mystery craft with a nuclear core. The other is a behemoth 100 times larger that just showed up out of the darkness. It's like a cosmic chase scene unfolding right above our heads. For years, people have looked at the stars and wondered, but the data coming back from these two visitors is changing everything. Some experts are saying this isn't a coincidence. It's a planned event, and we are about to be front row spectators. The shadow from Aquarius. Something enormous is cutting through the blackness of space, and it's headed our way. On September 12, 2025, an instrument called the Swan, floating aboard the Soho spacecraft, saw something it shouldn't have. It wasn't a comet. It wasn't an asteroid. It was a faint smudge that quickly grew into a presence so massive it defied all expectations. This object was given a name, C2025 R2 Swan, or Swan R2 for short. But calling this thing a comet is like calling a shark a goldfish. Initial observations were so wild that many astronomers thought their equipment was malfunctioning. Swan R2 was 100 times bigger and brighter than 3I Atlas, another weird visitor that had already put the scientific community on edge. Its tail wasn't the gentle, dusty trail of a melting ice ball. No, this tail was 2.5 degrees long. To put that in perspective, that's about the width of 5 full moons lined up in the sky. It was a brilliant, powerful plume stretching across the cosmos. Get this. The object itself was shrieking in from the direction of the constellation Aquarius, a silent behemoth on a very precise path. Its journey will bring it incredibly close to our sun, about 150 million kilometers away, in October of 2025. That's roughly the same distance as the Earth is from the sun. The power and scale of Swan R2 are simply off the charts. It's like finding out a skyscraper is moving through the ocean, but on a cosmic scale that is hard to even wrap your head around. The object is so large and so bright that it's forcing a complete reevaluation of what could be traveling between the stars. It is a silent arrival that has sent shockwaves through the halls of astronomy. A cosmic monster is now in our backyard. Before this new giant showed up, there was another puzzle. It was an object called 3I Atlas. This smaller object was the first sign that our solar system was about to get very interesting. 3I Atlas appeared from the opposite direction of the sky, emerging from Sagittarius, right near the glowing heart of the Milky Way galaxy. It was on its own collision course with destiny.
Scary, terrifying, and beautiful. God damn, what the plane doing? Is that military? Nah, that's a military plane. That's not a commercial flight, that's a military plane.
Oh, he's gonna be fast. Oh boy.
It's hard to believe this place exists, but that only makes you want to visit it even more.
I wonder how much they get paid.
If it weren't for the calm sea, you might think a tsunami was approaching the shore. But what you're seeing is just a particular type of cloud formation. This mesmerizing phenomenon is called an Arcus cloud.
It look cool on camera, but you see that in real life, you be tripping.
One of the great things about the internet is how it lets you experience things you would otherwise never see, like the process of boarding and disembarking from an icebreaker.
Oh, it's a boat.
Let's talk about this new crop circle that showed up in Dorset, UK yesterday. This is wild. There's no way that men with boards went out and did this in the middle of the night. This was yesterday. Today is July 11th. This showed up July 10th. Just look at these weave patterns in the crop circle. I don't even know how you could do that with a board. I'm sure you can do it with a board, but there's no way someone did this in a night. It's incredible. So let's take a closer look. I think that all crop circles are, in a way, some sort of message. Even if they're human-made, there's a message in there. But I don't think that this is human-made. But at first glance, this thing looks like a
You know,
spider.
the kind of math it would take just to understand, like that.
You know, but
you're
then
small.
you see these circles around there, and I don't know if you've ever tried to draw the flower of life, like a spirograph or whatever. But if you do enough of those circles, you get this thing called the flower of life. But this right here looks like a spider, 8 legs, and it looks like it has a head right there. But if you look at the body of it,
or it could look like an angry octopus.
An octopus also has 8 legs.
Just saying.
I mean, from here, this looks like a spider. A tick has 8 legs.
Looks like a face with a crown.
But if you count these little
you see the circles,
nozzles,
there's no way somebody did that overnight. There's no way somebody did that in a year.
Squid has 10 legs.
Like the size of that thing, to be that precise, there's no way.
I mean, this looks, the face over here looks like those
maybe
old,
in a year,
but
like overnight or in a week or in a month, the precise math of that is crazy.
Like a mask. This obviously looks like a spider. Someone did this. Why? Why would someone do this? And it may not be a person. It may be those like remember I've shown you videos before where it's like little orbs and little balls. Looks like the boogosphere flying over fields and hold on. Remember this video? The little spheres flying over and it's making the little patterns and things. But why would these spheres make something that looks like this? The circles. The circles all around it. What is this? Is this a mass? Is this saying like a spider species is here? Is this an octopus? Is it saying that it's gonna, is this telling us about the oceans or is this telling us about the spiders? I have no clue.
I don't think it's anything to do with a spider.
This crop circle showed up yesterday. It's incredible.
Just
absolutely incredible, especially the weave pattern at the top of the head or the, I guess, the base of the butt, depending on if it's a spider or not. But yeah, UK, Dorset, spider crop circle.
Have you guys?
Hey, does anybody else think of that Joe Rogan and Terrence Howard interview when Terrence Howard was talking about circles and geometry and, you know, stuff like that, man, and things of that nature? Did anybody else think of that, or is it just me?
In this video where the passenger on this plane is flying over Turkey and taking a video of the view and captures on camera what they think are people stranded on this island right here.
That's a good ass camera.
I'm here to tell you those are not people, y'all. Look, this plane is some 30,000 feet up in the air, okay? Even a zoomed in shot, those people have to be extremely tall, like lighthouse type height. Bam. Yeah. That's not people right there. That's something else.
Island, bro.
Are these giants? Are there giants living on an island off the coast of Turkey?
And the fact that the phone called a person. Have you ever been on a plane before? Ain't no phone. You can't see people.
Toxic fumes are literally poisoning airline passengers and crew members, leaving them with permanent brain damage similar to NFL concussions. These terrifying incidents happen when aviation oil leaks into the bleed air system that pulls breathable air through aircraft engines. Flight attendants and pilots are reporting severe neurological injuries, with some suffering traumatic brain damage and permanent nerve damage after just one exposure. The Airbus A320 has been the worst offender, experiencing 7 times more fume events than before. Doctors are comparing the brain effects to what football players experience from repeated head trauma. The scariest part is that these toxic exposure incidents are happening more frequently than ever, yet most passengers have no idea they're breathing contaminated air that could cause lasting damage. Hit the like button, comment, and share if you find this interesting.
The Twin Towers are an 11. Flight 11 was hijacked. New York is the 11th state. There were 11 crew members on the flight. 911 adds up to an 11. Pillars are an 11 with the black and white checkered board. Black and white add up to 11. Black is matter, white is spirit. Is this some kind of ritual, or just a coincidence? These are all symbols. The Roman numerals for 911 look like this. Saturn's code is 911. Another symbol for Saturn is the black cube, a symbol of death, stillness, coldness, and darkness. That's why the 911 memorial uses the black cube. We live in a world surrounded by black cubes. Saturn is Satan. When the Bible says Satan, who is the god of this world, has blinded the minds of those who don't believe. This is what it means. They want to trap human consciousness inside the black cube. That's why we say think outside the box. When I realized this, I had already been trapped inside for a long time. Not my body, but my mind. It had been caged in an invisible cube. Until I read this book, the Book of Wisdom, it didn't tell me what to believe, but it started me to see the hidden structures of the world. What I'm telling you now is just the tip of the iceberg in this book. In this video, I can't tell you the full story, because it's also connected to so much more. Everything we've ever seen in signs, symbols, colors, even our bodies, are connected in ways you've never learned. If you felt this indefinable oppression and doubt, then this book could be the key you've been
sentence in less. This is the prison of the future where criminals would serve their entire sentence in less than 2 minutes. It's called Cognify, and it's meant to revolutionize the criminal justice system by using a device to synthetically implant AI-generated memories into the prisoner's brain. You see, the current prison system has a major problem. Many studies have shown that chucking a criminal into a cell does not reduce the likelihood of that person reoffending. So realistically, the only way that we're currently reducing crime is by keeping these people off the streets. Problem is, taxpayers are paying up to $3 million for just one prisoner's life sentence. That's why scientist Hashim Al-Ghaili came up with Cognify, because one day prisoners could choose to fast-track their rehabilitation. Firstly, the implant would target specific parts of the brain responsible for reasoning, memory, and logical thinking. The intensity and type of memories can then be adjusted depending on the crime. For example, violent offenders could relive their crime from their victim's perspective, feeling all of the pain, suffering, and trauma as if it was real and it was done to them. They could also experience certain memories designed to trigger empathy, remorse, and regret, which is a crucial part of rehabilitation. Inside the criminal's mind, time would also pass differently. 60 seconds in the real world could feel like 20 years for them. Hashim argues that by replacing long prison sentences with brief, intensive rehabilitation with Cognify, not only would you avoid the high cost of housing millions of inmates, but by actually rehabilitating offenders effectively, they could be reintegrated back into society sooner and contribute to the workforce. The question is, do you think that this is a good idea, or is the current prison system better?
You guys, we got a massive problem. This smiley face conspiracy is becoming way more relevant. So basically in Austin, Texas, they're finding body after body in Lady Bird Lake. Now 90% of these bodies are men between the ages of 30 and 42. So if you know anything about the smiley face murders, they always target younger men, usually popular, athletic, or successful students. Now they also have a calling card, and that is the smiley face. Usually what they'll do is they'll tag the area where the bodies are found. Well, look what just resurfaced at Lady Bird Lake. Smiley faces. Now this was one of the victims. He was a younger man, 30 years old. This was what they found right next to where they found the body in the lake. This is literally the map of where everyone has gone missing. Okay, so a lot of activity. Now, if you didn't know, Rainy Street is where all the nightlife is in Austin. And it just so happens to be right next to Lady Bird Lake. Now, a lot of people in Austin are not happy about this one because they're terrified there's a serial killer running around. And also the fact that not all the bodies are examined for autopsy. Basically, Texas picks and chooses whether they want to do an internal autopsy or external autopsy. So the police are saying that some of these were accidental drownings, but some of...
Welcome to the f***ing news. I'm your host, Kellerman, and this is the crazy going on in the world today. Scientists at the Weizmann Institute have created a synthetic lab-grown embryo without the use of sperm or egg. Now, they're using these embryos to research early human development, but if you think about it, we're one step closer to synthetic lab-grown people, and that is some sci-fi. Follow me if you get even one.
America, we could potentially have a massive problem. The EPA has just issued a drinking water warning to millions of customers. So the Environmental Protection Agency has issued a critical warning about widespread cybersecurity vulnerabilities in the nation's drinking water systems, which could affect millions of Americans. On November 13th, the EPA's Office of Inspector General published a report that assessed 1,062 public drinking water systems, which serve about 193 million people. Now, this report identified 97 systems supplying water to 26.6 million customers with critical or high-risk cybersecurity vulnerabilities. An additional 211 systems serving 82.7 million people were found to have medium to low-risk vulnerabilities. Either way, not good. So the agency has long-standing concerns with cybersecurity-related threats and vulnerabilities facing the water sector. Now, the assessment analyzed more than 75,000 IP addresses and 14,400 web domains, focusing on systems serving populations of 50,000 or more. The vulnerabilities stem from inadequate risk assessments and poor security practices. The report said issues include failure to change default passwords, use of single logins for all staff, and not removing access for former employees.
I could live in any time, I could live in any country, I could live on any planet, and I would be fine.
What was the key? What truth was coming through your mother?
One is the inner reality creates the outer form. I learned this when I was in grade school. I was very young. And the other is the universe bears no ill to me. I bear no ill to it.
Great fortunes have been made because a man dared to be silent long enough to think while everyone else rushed. The wealthiest men are not always the most educated. They are the clearest decision makers. They know how to cut through noise, filter distractions, and choose with confidence. When you retreat into silence, you remove the external voices that create doubt. You are no longer reacting to fear or peer pressure. You are consulting your own intuition, your inner wisdom, the God-given intelligence within. Great fortunes have been made because a man dared to be silent long enough to think while everyone else rushed. Problems appear bigger in noise, but in silence, they shrink into manageable pieces. When you step back from the chaos and let silence calm your nerves, the mind begins to work with precision. Instead of panic, you see patterns. Instead of confusion, you see options. Instead of fear, you see opportunity. This is why Napoleon Hill taught that every adversity carries with it the seed of equal or greater benefit. But you can only find that seed in silence, never in panic.
Have you taken a flight recently and found it unusually bumpy? Turns out it's not in your head. Turbulence is actually getting worse. You're probably already familiar with one cause of turbulence: thunderstorms. And mountain ranges can also cause bumps in the flight path too, usually downwind from the ridge. But one kind you might be less familiar with has been increasing too. Since 1979, scientists have seen a 55% increase in severe clear air turbulence over the North Atlantic. And it's virtually undetectable by pilots until it's too late. Some turbulence, including clear air turbulence, is caused in part by wind shear, dramatic changes to wind speeds or directions over short distances and altitudes. And an increase in wind shear can lead to more severe turbulence, especially on flight paths intersecting with the jet stream in the North Atlantic. The jet stream is a band of wind in the upper atmosphere that flows from west to east and is often at the boundary between hot and cold regions. Turbulence is also increasing over the southern hemisphere, but aircraft typically don't fly over the South Pole to cross from one continent to another. Scientists think climate change may be to blame for the uptick in all of this turbulence. As the planet warms, some regions are heating up faster than others, especially the Arctic. This results in a smaller temperature difference between the warm and cold air regions, forming the jet stream, destabilizing it and leading to more turbulence. But just because there's more turbulence doesn't mean you'll encounter it more often when you fly. Weather experts are getting better at predicting where severe turbulence will happen, and pilots have access to more detailed forecasts before takeoff. Still, experts suggest that the best way to stay safe is to always be ready. Most importantly, stay buckled, unless you're actively moving about the cabin.
Plane turbulence is getting worse with climate change. Research shows skies are now 55% bumpier than 40 years ago, and in the US alone, there have been 207 serious injuries since 2009. Turbulence is all about changes in airflow, whether that's going through a cloud or experiencing friction between layers of air, causing planes to suddenly drop at different altitudes. It's only ever caused a small number of deaths, but experts believe it's now getting more severe. atmosphere. That's because as well as climate change making weather events like rain and storms more extreme, it's changing the temperature of layers of air in the atmosphere. Hotter air moves faster, so increased temperature differences between layers can cause different wind speeds to affect planes. Atmospheric scientist Professor Paul Williams has said that we can expect a doubling or tripling in the amount of severe turbulence around the world in the next few decades.
Have you ever seen ships going across the Black Sea? See if you can find some videos of cargo ships getting fucked up on the Black Sea. It's apparently like the most dangerous part of the ocean to cross. Watching these cargo ships get nailed by these monster waves, and look at this. It snaps the cargo ship in two. Look at this shit. Just that.
Please tell me all of you have seen the new released photos of 3i Atlas and the other spaceships that are currently right above. Not to mention the mothership that's parked right beside the moon and all little spaceships that are just flying around. Please tell me you've seen all of those, because I've kind of jumped off of alien talk for a little bit because of rapture talk taking over. But the new photos that have been released of 3i Atlas. Now, mind you, you know there's a lot of people out there putting...
This is not looking good, guys. This is not looking good. So in this picture, they sent the AI robot to confront a lion. One glance is all it took, and the machine froze and said multiple times, scared, scared, scared. That's what this robot was saying when it confronted the lion. As a matter of fact, I heard that the robot said it 100 times. It was scared of a lion. How is that possible? People are saying in that moment the first world's PTSD machine was born. So you mean to tell me robots are scared now? How? Scared has to do with an emotion. I mean, I'm a human, so if I see this, hell yeah, I'm gonna be scared.
I'm gone.
You know that. But for this, to be scared of a lion? This is deep, guys. And people are saying they think that these robots are starting to gain consciousness. Do I believe that? Nope. I don't believe that. That robot just was scared. Maybe they programmed it to be scared. But I know for sure, if I see this face to face, I'm gonna be shook for sure. Because I know that this could defeat me. This video is for entertainment purposes only. I don't know how true that is, but if it is true, that's not good. I don't know, guys. Let me know what you think about this. I'm out.
Hey, I'm gonna try to post in one of these videos. There's a monk meditating and there was a lion like walking up on it, and the lion was chilling and the monk was just chilling. But you know, hey, but that's the end of the video today, guys. I hope y'all enjoyed it. You know, let me know in the comments how y'all feeling, man. So a lot of these celebrity videos that I'm posting, they're getting a lot of traction, but I don't want to strictly be about celebrity and HOLLYWEIRD. You know, that is a part of my, you know, YouTube agenda, but it's only a part. It's not supposed to be the whole thing. But hey, gotta do what I gotta do to get monetized. So if you guys do like those celebrity videos, I'll keep them coming. I'm gonna keep them coming anyway. But yeah, man. So let your boy know. Hey, I love y'all, Dark Mafia. Be safe out there. Don't run into any lions, and watch out for the zombie bugs. All right. Love you. Peace.